This video made possible by the Global Innovation Exchange. Visit gixnetwork.org to learn more.
So, really the founding of GeekWire and how we started this was really about the fact that we believed that Seattle was a world-class city, that we had a world-class tech ecosystem. Now, sadly, we also have some world-class problems in terms of what's going on in the community, and all too often, we're very lucky, all of us sitting here, and we have the opportunity to say yes or to say no to a lot of things. And a lot of times, it's easy to say no, and I'll admit to doing this. It's easy to say no to a head tax. I myself said no to a head tax for a variety of reasons. It can sometimes be easy for us to say no to a homeless encampment near our neighborhood because we're not sure how we want to deal with that with our children, and that's somewhat understandable. But the challenge that I would ask all of you is, what are you all saying yes to? And one of the things that I encourage you to say yes to is our Geeks Give Back program. And there are people who've been working tirelessly to help the homeless community and those less fortunate in our community. And I'd like to welcome to the stage one of them, my good friend Tony Mestris, who's actually had a lifelong, very successful career as a technology executive at Microsoft, my own alma mater, but in the last 4 years has chosen to give of himself in service to the Seattle Foundation. And so welcome to the stage, Tony Mestris, Executive Director of the Seattle Foundation. Thank you for being here.
Jonathan, thank you very much. And I can just say one or two words about Jonathan. He walks the walk. So what we'll talk about just briefly is how to engage all of you. And I can tell you that there are a lot of people in this room who have very cool jobs. I believe I actually have the coolest job in Seattle. I get to lead an organization whose mission is to ignite powerful, rewarding philanthropy to make Greater Seattle a stronger, more vibrant community for all. And that is something that is a Herculean task right now. We're very proud of the partnership with GeekWire and Bank of America for Geeks Give Back. Go to geeksgiveback.org, get involved. I know there's probably a lot of people in this room who do important work to try to help your community already, but I'll just say if you haven't begun that journey, for me it started about 20 years ago when I was just starting at Microsoft, and it really helped me to define myself in this world and to grow immensely as a human being, to learn humility and compassion and empathy that I didn't know I had inside me. And also as a parent, for those parents in the room, it's an incredibly important thing to raise your kids with an awareness that we live in a world where there are too many people who are left behind. And the other thing that I think is really important for this crowd is that innovation is really badly needed in terms of the work that we're all doing in the community. So applying your brains, not just your wallets, to making this a better place is a huge, huge need. We're going to focus in the next section around a really critical problem we all deal with and are aware of every day. That's homelessness. And the organization, Plymouth Housing, that is going to talk to you has actually done some amazing work really going upstream. And some of the things that we work on in terms of impact-driven philanthropy is about looking at root causes. And for homelessness, that includes affordable housing, behavioral mental health, jobs, the criminal justice system, the foster care system. So with that, I want to actually give the stage to the person who matters most, and those are the people on the front line. Please join me in welcoming Brandon Getz from Plymouth Housing Group.
Hi everyone, my name is Brandon Getz and I work for Plymouth Housing Group as a building manager. I've been there a little over 10 years now, and we provide permanent supportive housing to the chronically homeless. So in short, we're actively working to get the people sleeping outside back inside, because we believe everyone should have a safe place to lay their head at night. And we're talking about a lot of these people, they deal with chronic mental illness as well as a lot of physical illnesses and disabilities, and so they've got a lot of barriers that have kept them from becoming housed. So I'd like to first start off by saying thank you to Geeks That Give, as well as Bank of America for your support to Plymouth and for facilitating us being here and represented today. So thank you. And anyone that hasn't stopped by our booth, please do so. It's right outside of those doors. So thank you. So I'm going to take a leap and say most of you guys are here today because of your involvement in the tech industry and the overall economic opportunity that Seattle offers. Is that a reasonable assumption? Okay. I'm here for much different reasons. I came to Seattle after the realization that my drug addiction was in all likelihood going to kill me. So I decided to get as far away from my family as I could so that they didn't have to watch. I came out to Seattle to stay with a friend from back east who said I could stay with him until I got a job and got on my feet. But unfortunately, he had a change of heart, and so I found myself walking down the street on the Ave in the U District with nowhere to go. I did not know where I was going to lay my head that night, and that was a question that I would have to ask myself many more nights to come. And like that, I was homeless. But I met a guy named Irish Patty who lived in a car, and so he let me live in that car with him. And I found a job, and so I was okay. Soon after that, though, the car got towed, and I found myself in handcuffs due to my drug addiction, which resulted in me losing that job. And then a cycle began of where am I going to stay tonight? And it was shelters, sometimes if I was lucky, somebody's couch, jails, and then as my health started to deteriorate, hospitals. Eventually, the only place I could find work was day labor, and that was sporadic at best. There was many days they just didn't have work. And so I one day resigned to standing on the side of the road holding a sign. And I think that's when I'd really given up. And I knew things weren't going to get better, and they actually got much worse. I was something that people didn't want to look at, and so people looked away. And honestly, I was someone that I didn't want to look at. But life had other plans for me, and somebody chose not to look away. Gave me a place to stay, a place to heal and rest, but most importantly, they gave me hope. And with that hope, I was able to course correct. And that's why I'm here today. That's why I'm doing this work at Plymouth. And I love my job. I get to hand somebody keys to their apartment that's been sleeping outside for who knows how long and say, welcome home. I get to see that person crack a smile for the first time in a long time after years of being hardened. I get to see that spark in someone's eyes light back up. I get to see somebody find hope again. And while Plymouth is, first off, we are housing, our hidden commodity is hope. And we've got an abundance of that. And so I look around this room today at all of the heads and innovators of this industry, and I just think what you all could accomplish with a collective vision of what Seattle can be. Both a technological hub, a place for growth, but also a place that's socially conscious. You guys can make Seattle a model city for the world. A place where people don't have to sleep outside. A place where you're not walking past someone sleeping in a doorway. So I'm going to ask something to you guys today. Well, there's a lot that I can think of, but we'll start with this. So the next time you're about to walk past a homeless person, don't look away. See them. Give them a nod. Say hello. And in that moment, you've just given that person a little bit of hope, which they desperately need. And in that moment, you've joined us in our collective vision of the city that Seattle can become. Thank you.
Hey, Brandon. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. That's right. Let's make some hope. Let's make some more hope. Thank you.